Alright, let me explain the best problem for beginners. My funding futures. So you can get a $48 eval with the code Mantas. It's my affiliate code because I don't really remember the actual code you need for it, but let's go straight into it, the rules, everything you really need to know. So three pricing plans. If you're a beginner, I'm going to make this specifically for you, like I'm explaining to a student what you need to do. So only go with the 50k eval. I wouldn't really recommend doing this because you only get 40% off with, I'm pretty sure, your first time buying an eval, one of the starter plans, which we're going to completely ignore the expert. I'll brush on it for anyone that's a little bit more advanced, but you should be using Top Step or Take Profit Trader if you've passed evals before. But the starter eval is a beginner's best friend. It's cheap, it's tailored for beginner, no daily drawdown limits, low profit targets, and you could just read all of this. I don't think I have to read it out for you. And don't pay for a reset. Literally just buy another account. It's cheaper. Okay, here's the expert. You guys can read this, pause it if you want, right here. So, this is the payout rules. All you really have to do is, I'll show you real quick, I'll go back to it. Make 3k without losing 2.5k in total or losing 1.2k in a day. You could trade 3 NQ contracts or 30 M&Q contracts, which I recommend 5 M&Q to 1 NQ contract, which you should know what that is if you're already considering getting a funded account. I recommend taking it extremely slow. These drawdown rules are so good. It's almost a one-to-one. It's $500 away from being a one-to-one, and most people can handle it. And I think if you're already considering getting funded, you know you're profitable, you know your strategy works, go with that, okay? So, straight into the payout stuff. I'll read this out to you, so you don't really have to read this. But basically, every 14 days, you are eligible to request a payout if you make 5 $100 days. So you have to make $100 5 times minimum. And this is just the consistency rule. You cannot make more than, I'd say, $1,200 or $1,300 in a day because that would prevent a payout, or your best day exceeds it. So it's really similar to the how you pass evals on top. So if you cannot make more than 50%, so on a 50k, that's you cannot make more than $1,500 a day. They have this on the funded starter, but on the expert they don't have that. So I'm just gonna go through this quickly so you guys can understand it. This is just the benefits. I mean, it's really easy to get funded and take a payout. This is already brushed up on this. Reset 80. So right here, 40% for the funded only. You can go nuts on the eval, but I really don't recommend that. So what you need 5 winning days of $100 for the weekly payouts, and you can withdraw up to $1,200 for each payout until 30 winning days or $6,000 in payouts. So once you can hit that, I'm pretty sure you can take like 100% payout, or you can take payouts with no restriction, which is so much better. But after the first payout, your maximum loss limit moves to $50,100. So, for example, you make $200, $200, $200, $200, and you have exactly $1,000 or a little bit more than that, and you want to withdraw all that, you would get your account blown. They'd probably cancel your account if you take the $1,000 payout. So I recommend building up a buffer with how much money you have in that account, so make like $52,000 or more before taking your first payout, because this would mess you up. Or you could take the 1,000 and move on to a different prop firm if you're already doing good. And the max payout after 5 winning days, 1,200. So if you're banging out profits until you hit 30 winning days or 6k in payouts, you can only take $1,200 every 14 days. So that in a month, you can only take $2,400 each 50k account. And I'm pretty sure you can only have 3 or 5, but you should only be focusing on one. And I already went over the sizing. So we could just quickly brush up on the whole path, whatever you're going to be doing. So you can get funded for $50, $48, 5 winning days of $100, and $1,000 minimum payout, $12,000 max payout every 14 days. So best case scenario, you pass the eval, and you can do the same, replicate it on the funded account, which you make $3,000 similar to what you did in the eval. You could take $1,200 payout and just write off that. Continue building that up or move to a different prop firm. So I'm going to talk about 2 different prop firms real quick. Pros of this one, so beginner friendly, but the payout rules are kind of strict. Top Step, I'd say, is more like the American Express. They have such good branding. And you can take payouts, 5 $200 winning days, you can take 50% payouts of however much profits you have. So for example, I have 5k in my account balance, you can take 2,500 until you have 30 winning days, which is 100% payout, or they can move you to a live account. But that's a little bit more towards what I like. Then there's Take Profit Trader, which utilizes a buffer system. If you make like $2,500, everything above $2,500, you can take 90% of instant same day withdrawals. If you're interested in that, I have a different video on that if you want to look into it. We're a little bit above 5 minutes, but I'm just gonna go over KYC process and payment processor. So some people want this. So if you want to do the KYC, you're gonna need ID. So picture of an ID, your ID, someone above 18, you yourself. You cannot use anyone else's. A selfie, which you have to hold the phone in front of you, look up, down, left, right, whatever that is, and proof of address and a passport. So, or not really, I'd say proof of address or a passport. They want utility bill, something like that, or you can just use a passport or some sort of different identification. And they use RiseWorks to process payouts. That's really all it is. If you want to support me a little bit more, you can use code Mantas, MANTAS. That's it. I think I make like 5% of it, maybe like $5 or $9 per eval. But so I'd appreciate that. You'd help me get motorcycle, but that's all I really have for you guys. Thank you.